and our own President of IPNet, Dr. Ashish Makhija sir. I must mention here that within a month of time, IPNet has become a vital platform of IPs across India. It brings together all the IP in one roof to their comprehensive professional need and expectations. IPNet is having a dedicated forum for expanding knowledge base, receiving timely support, and represent our concern of the IPs and find practical solutions. So I don't want to waste the time on the Dasera of everyone that we should directly focus on the subject first. Now I request Namrata to kindly play the introductory video of IPNet. It will have a brief about the IPNet.
In the fast-evolving world of insolvency and bankruptcy, professionals need more than just knowledge. They need a strong network, continuous support, and a unified voice. As the challenges of the insolvency profession grow, so does the need for a platform where professionals can come together, share their experiences, and find collective solutions. That's why IPNet was formed. Promoted by Transition, IPNet is more than just a network. It's a mission to unite insolvency professionals across India, empowering them with the tools, knowledge, strong leadership, and community support they need to excel. Our purpose is simple: to create a cohesive community of insolvency professionals that stands strong together, advocates for their interests, and drives excellence in every aspect of the profession. At IPNet, we believe in continuous learning and collaboration. Our activities are designed to ensure that every member stays ahead in their field, from specialized study groups that dive deep into critical topics like CIRP, compliances, and many more, to webinars and workshops that bring the latest insights right to your screen. IPNet is your gateway to professional growth. Backed by Transition, a leader in insolvency training and resources, IPNet is committed to promoting the interests of insolvency professionals. Our goal is to ensure that every IP, no matter where they are, has access to the best resources, strong leadership, and a network that truly understands their needs. Join us in this mission to build a stronger, smarter, and more connected community of insolvency professionals. Together, we can overcome challenges, shape the future of the profession, and make a lasting impact. IPNet, National Network for Insolvency Professionals in India.
Thank you, Namrata. So I'm confident that most of the IPs who are attending today's are proud member of IPNet, and even those who have not yet joined, kindly join. It will be helpful for all the IP communities. Now we come to the webinar for today. I would like to take the opportunity to introduce our honorable chief guest, Mr. Harihara Mishra ji. Sir, welcome, sir. And
Thank you, sir.
I just he don't need any introduction as far as stress assets part is concerned. He's a very known face for stress asset resolution. He has worked with State Bank of India for 22 years, and wherein he has handled all NPA management and stress assets and large accounts. Apart from this, after 2004, when the RCL come into the picture and SARFAESI Act enacted, he has worked with almost all ARCs in a various capacity, somewhere as an executive, somewhere as a director, and so on. And in 2023, he took the as a CEO of ARC Association, and he is providing all kind of assistance in stress resolution. He has been writing regularly and quote exclusively in the area of distressed debt insolvency finance. He is a regular participant in the panel discussion by various industry bodies and in addressing students on business and current affairs. Last month, he has participated in Global NPL Market Update webinar of 2024, representing Indians' perspective. Now, on behalf of IPNet, I request Harihara Mishra ji to kindly enlighten us with your rich experience in IBC. Most importantly, I will say that on the recent amendment of 24th of September, where
Hold
the
on.
concept of interim representative come into the play for AR. So I request, sir, and you are most welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chaturvedi, and happy Dasara to all the viewers. Normally, we schedule an auspicious occasion like buying a home for Dasara, but probably Mr. Chaturvedi thought that even a discussion on home buyers need to be scheduled on the Dasara day.
Yes,
I hope this proves auspicious for him and IPNet.
yes, sir.
At the outset, I express my deep gratitude and thanks to IPNet for having given me this opportunity to interact with you. This is extremely timely because if you see, number one, in the latest IBBA newsletter June quarter, the editorial is focused on reviving real estate by IBBA chairman himself. Apart from that, the last amendment which was made in IBBA regulation was on having an interim representative whose job would be to represent the class of creditors during the insolvency process, even before the authorized representative is appointed by NCLT, so that there is no void and there is continuity and their voices are heard. So real estate, and particularly represented by authorized representative, which you discussed quite in detail, is of paramount importance. Why it is important? Let me try to give a picture actually. Not only that it contributes substantially to GDP, it generates a lot of employment opportunities. For example, if you recollect, during COVID, while manufacturing and services came to a complete halt, construction activities at highways, at various other places, including the newly thought of parliament, was still going on, because that gives generation or that generates employment opportunities. And that's why it's very critical. Apart from contribution to GDP, it does have contribution to the employment, which is a big challenge now for our country, because there is challenges of jobless growth. So to counter that, if more and more construction activities can be undertaken, that addresses the employment problem. Stalled real estate project has been a matter of concern for quite some time. Last year, there was a high-level government committee, Amitabh Kant committee, which studied into stalled real estate projects, and it recommended a few measures across all regulators. It was not only confined to IBC, it was across all regulators, like maybe RERA, maybe other forum, maybe changes in legislation. To give you a sense how big the problem is, IBA had made a study last year where it had found out that around 4.12 lakh dwelling units were stalled, involving an amount of 4 lakh crore, 4.04 lakh crore. That's a big amount. So certainly that needs attention, and whatever measures can be taken has to be taken to ensure that real estate revives. If you recollect, in the Union Budget Economic Survey, Economic Survey 23-24, among all measures which were noted for revival of the state asset, IBC got the primary importance vis-a-vis the other two, which is of course Consumer Protection Act and RERA. So having said that, revival of real estate is a priority for the government, for the lakhs of home buyers who are waiting for their dream homes. And in IBC, I will give some figures actually. In IBC, as of June 2024, 1,400 cases have been admitted into IBC. 645 cases were resolved either through resolution or closure process. Only 261 cases went for liquidation. 3 cheers to the resolution professionals who have been really working quite hard despite all adverse conditions to see that the resolution to liquidation ratio, or the cases which were close to liquidation, was 2.5, which is quite high vis-a-vis other sectors. So thanks to all of you for having put a good job so far in reviving the real estate sector. There are many success stories. I mean, I won't name many, maybe, but JP Infra stands out as a outlier where, I mean, almost 20,000 homebuyers got benefited. There are so many other success stories also. IBC has been consistently trying to reform its regulations, to see that they are well empowered to take corrective measures. To start with, it started from 2018, when the homebuyers deposit was treated as a financial debt and they were treated as a separate class of creditors. But since there was a lot of those creditors, homebuyers could be in hundreds and thousands, they were to be represented by a entity called authorized representative. While it was never defined in IBC, but its roles, responsibilities have been well consolidated. In fact, in February 2024, it has been consolidated. I would take it a few minutes later. So first of all, financial debt, this homebuyers being treated as a financial debt, that was the first one. Then came in IBC, in real estate, there could be several projects undertaken by a real estate developer. There could be at different stages. One could be almost completed, one could be ongoing, one could have barely started. So another solution was thought of, there should be a project-wise resolution so that chances of resolution improves. So that amendment was brought in. Then all those homebuyers who were given possession certificate were excluded from the liquidation estate so that their interest could be protected. And homebuyers, like all other financial creditors, were also allowed to have a resolution plan so that they can submit a plan of their own also. So consistently, IBC throughout years has been making changes to ensure that this success rate of resolution in real estate improves, and there have been encouraging results so far, while there are a lot of challenges also. And now coming back specific to the authorized representative, this authorized representative is required because the number of class of creditors could be in large numbers. Just for a clarification, I would like to add that this class of creditor need not necessarily be real estate. While we'll be discussing today on real estate only, this could be a set of debenture holders, could be a lot of depositors also. So this authorized representative is chosen from a panel of 3, which is given by the insolvency professional to the home buyers, and who at the majority is chosen as that authorized representative. His role has now been consolidated in a February 2024 circular. I would list out, there are 10 deliverables by the authorized representatives. These 10 are, I will try to note it down so that we don't miss anything. 1, assist the creditors in a class he represents in understanding the discussions and considerations of the committee meeting. So he has to make the people understand the issues involved in the real estate project. 1. 2, review the contents of the minutes prepared by the RP. So whatever minute is given by the COC to him, he has to explain it to the set of home buyers. Help the creditors he represents in preparing a strategy for marketing of the assets of the corporate debtor. So in preparation of the marketing, he is a part of that, and he has a role to play there. 4, work in collaboration with creditors in a class he represents to enhance marketability of the assets of the corporate debtor. 5, he is to ensure that creditors in a class that he represents have access to any information or document which is required. Next, he has to update regularly the creditors in the class he represents on the progress of the corporate insolvency resolution process. All these are well documented in February 24 amendment. All these are from that only. 7, 8, make suggestions for modifications of the resolution plan. 9, record proceedings and prepare the minutes of the meeting with the creditors in a class he represents. And 10, final one, he has to act as representative for the creditors in the class he represents in representing before adjudicating authority and CLAT and other regulatory authority. So a lot of tasks has been laid down very clearly. But of course, there are a lot of challenges. These challenges are there basically because of various reasons. Like if you compare any other financial creditor and a home buyer, there are very basic differences. For example, financial creditors are ahead of the curve in terms of information vis-a-vis the resolution is concerned because they have access to a lot more information from the date of sanction even before commencement of this insolvency. So they have a lot more information about the project, about the promoters, about their market. But the home buyers at the other end, they are behind the curve. They don't have access to any of the information, so they are at a complete disadvantageous position. So the authorized representative has a role to ensure that this information asymmetry has to bridge this to the extent possible. That's one. Number two, in the decision-making process, all the financial creditors, maybe banks, maybe NBFCs, maybe FIs, they have a team of people well skilled, have a risk management apparatus, have a lot more skills to analyze a proposal diligently. But for a home buyer, for evaluating a proposal, he doesn't have anything. It's only the AR who can handhold him to take a decision correctly. So these are basic differences between a financial creditor as well vis-a-vis this other home buyers. And then, of course, there are several things peculiar to these home buyers. During the continuation of the insolvency process, they have to pay the rent regularly, they have to pay installment regularly. So their hardship goes on increasing as resolution goes on prolonging. In fact, that's the reason why some of the schools of thought advocate a separate insolvency program for real estate itself because there are peculiar characteristics. I don't know what could be a solution, but these are the difficulties with them which needs to be addressed. There cannot be a blanket moratorium because that will affect the whole banking system. But one of the thoughts that come to my mind is maybe something on the line of, say, deposit insurance, something in the line of the credit insurance for small loans. If there is something on real estate, insurance by the government for project completion, there have been some efforts in that regard, like mortgage insurance and others. So that could be really little more universalized so that a home buyer doesn't face this sort of a problem that his project is stalled, yet he has to go on paying installment, go on paying rent, or will be evicted from house, or his account becomes irregular, he's declared a defaulter. So there are a lot many consequences. So based on that, actually, I would personally think, all of you IPs are there, so you can think through and suggest, and IBB has always been proactive. Is there any sort of insurance that can be brought in which can take care of these helpless victims? Since there is a larger discussion by Mr. Deshpande on this almost a 1 hour program, I won't take much of your time. I only wish this program to be a good success, and may Goddess bless all of us. Thank you, Mr. Chaturvedi, for having given me a chance
Thank you
to
so much for coming, sir.
share my opportunity,
Yes,
share my viewpoints.
sir, as you have rightly said that we have to protect the interest of the small investor and home buyer.
Correct.
I have just come across one case where I have been appointed as IRP, and the project is completed up to 95%. Just 5% work need to be completed. The home buyer don't mind putting their own money to complete the project and take the possession. In that situation, there should be some provision in the law, in my opinion, that if the project is the home buyer come together and want to make the association, they should not knock the door of NCLT and waste their time. They should be allowed to make the association with the majority, and they can complete the project and take the possession, so that the poor home buyer should not suffer. That is
That's That's a very good point. In fact, I wanted to dwell upon that, but due to paucity of time, within the given time, I didn't want to overstep my time. But frankly, there could be a situation which you have rightly said. In this case, that definitely there should be some provision to take care of all those residual 5% if it pulled by the home buyers, the project should be on actually. But in other cases also, just for an example, many cases there is no asset on the ground, there is nothing left. Creditors don't want to continue with the insolvency process because they know that whatever money they put in is not going to be recoverable. So in that case, normally the resolution professional wants to withdraw from the whole thing. So can an authorized representative be empowered to collect these fees and collect amount from the investor and keep it going actually, independent out of the financial creditor? That's also an issue which needs to be debated. I think that a lot of talent is available in this seminar itself. They can think through actually. But your point is extremely genuine. And here there should be, IBBA should take some proactive steps to ensure that if the funding is being arranged by the home buyers, I mean, it should be possible for them to continue with the project. That's a very good suggestion. I appreciate.
Yes, sir.
You
Thank
can
you.
put it up to IBBA actually. That's a very good point.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And any other question? Any one question only, because considering the time, sir, Deshpande, you are the pioneer in this. If you want to discuss some important issue with Mishra ji.
Actually, Ravindraji, on this point, what you raised, I have got some different opinion. Okay, I have a similar case wherein, okay, one project 95% is about to get completed. See, home buyers, what happens is that home buyers, you have to understand, home buyers is a class of creators. You know? So home buyers consist of different people with, different objectives. You know? So what happens is that some of them they want to stay, some of them are investors, some of them, there is some I will put it interest groups which are bifurcated in different groups. I always say that role of AR is like a role of chairman of society. है So those who are interested in such things, na, so that is kind of a role which is being offered. So what happens is that class of home buyers coming together and completing a project itself, I have my own doubts because there are certain things that promoter, why we require promoter is that he has got expertise to complete the project. It is not just, it is not problem of money, it is not the problem of construction, it is the assembly of whole things. So what happens is that I think your suggestion, I will put it this way, that instead of home buyers coming together and they want to take the project, home buyer should take some developer on board. They should tell him that okay, this is we are ready to support your plan, provided you give us that maybe construct the homes, complete in so and so time. This much is the amount to be paid or not to be paid, whatever. But you bring some RA in the form of developer who will complete the project.
Correct.
Because
Absolutely.
home buyers, they are never united. You will
नहीं
see
sir,
that.
the home
Good
buyer
point. Good point.
definitely have to appoint some contractor or some
Correct.
developer. They themselves cannot do, because if I want to do something, I cannot do and construct this. So the suggestion is, underlying suggestion is like this, that they will create an association, they will appoint the contractor and developer who will complete the project, they will pool the fund and they will take the possession, so that they should not unnecessarily waste the time in that process. Because I have come across many cases where the home buyers have to pay the installment, they have took the housing loan, they are facing lot of stress, and 1 year delay for the project can create a lot of issues for them. So with this, thank you very much, Mishra ji sir. I sincerely, on behalf of IPNet and all the participants who took the advantage of your enriched knowledge, I sincerely thank from bottom of my heart. And I request Namrata just present a memento, then I will. So this is the memento, sir, from our side, and we will deliver at your residence, sir. Thank you so much for sparing the time, and I request that continue to participate in this seminar and shower your knowledge, and it will be more effective and more interactive, sir.
Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much, sir.
Thank you very much. I am very much there, sir. Don't worry. I am there.
Thank you so much. Thank
So,
you.
yeah.
Namrata, kindly take over now.
Yes, sir. I would once again like to thank our chief guest, Mr. Harihara Mishra ji. With this wonderful beginning, we come to our session of the day, roles and responsibilities with opportunity and challenges of IPs as AR in real estate insolvency. I now request IP Rajesh Shah to kindly introduce our lead speaker, IP Harshad Deshpande.
Dear friends, it's my privilege to introduce CMA Harshad S. Deshpande to our IPNet forum today. He is practicing as CMA and has 20 plus years experience and partner in Messrs. Harshad S. Deshpande and Associates. He is also practicing as insolvency professional and has handled more than 23 assignments as IRP, RP liquidator for corporates having exposure from 1 crore to 2,000 crores. He is also registered valuer, diploma in forensic audit, company secretary, CISA USA, SEMA UK, independent director, completed 1,000 plus valuation assignments and registered valuer. He has 45K plus followers on LinkedIn and 12 million views on LinkedIn. Visiting faculty at reputed academic institutes and corporates, elected as Central Council member 2023-27 and held various leadership positions in ICMA. In today's session, few questions come to my mind are role of AR before the receipt of resolution plan and after the receipt of resolution plan. How to keep confidentiality and still share the data with home buyers so that they can take informed decisions. How to protect AR from various stakeholders, that is COC, RP, even home buyers, IBBI and A, and still deliver his duties. Participants, a kind request, IP Hemant Mehta would be moderator for the session. Request participants to post their questions in chat box to raise their hands, and the same will be taken during the session. Sir has gone through the process and would request him to take us through this experience and share his knowledge. Over to Harshad Deshpande.
Thank you so much, Rajesh ji. In fact, Rajesh ji himself is a very, he introduced me, but he's a very good friend of mine. In fact, he's much more senior, but still we have got a very friendly relation. And in fact, I'm thankful to this IPNet community. Rashish ji has started this wonderful forum, which, we have to look beyond. Now, today also on the festival day, we can find 90 odd people. So, it it serves the purpose because see there are certain webinars, seminars which are going on almost every day. That is for the sake of compliance, and we talk a lot of things over it, which are more of kind of academic things. And through this forum, I think, of course, Namrata Madam and Ravindra Chaturvedi ji, they have taken this wonderful initiative, and we can see that we all are getting more together, and we as a community we have to stay together because this world is going to be very ruthless world, and all of us are facing the difficulties. So in fact, in my journey as a insolvency professional, as Rajesh mentioned, almost 22 assignments I've handled. AR assignments I've done, some process advisory I've done. So around say 50 odd cases I've done in different capacities. But every day I feel that there is a new challenge. Every day I feel that there is something new, and I am learning. You are also learning. So this is the process of learning, and I would like to request and urge through this forum that we let us remain as a community. What happens is that I feel that at some point of time we have to stop and go beyond the fellowship. If it happens that all of us say that okay, IBBA is the regulator, lot of compliances with IPA, and what all whatnot CRP forms are there. There's a lot of redundancy. You are facing a lot of litigations. So at least we should have within ourselves a peace. So if somebody is taking over assignment or somebody is giving up the assignments, so kind of a courtesy is something which I find that there is a need of it. And I will urge that, as a fellow, all of us are facing the similar issues. fees and all that. Of course, I'm going to take it during my discussions, what all we are facing, the litigation risk, and so far. So challenge we take as a IP. I always say that this role of IP, like the movie Dawn, कि उसका अच्छा गाना है. I think if it is there in my playbook, I will play it for you at the end of session. So our job is almost so much challenging. So let us try to ease it out. And this forum, I'm grateful to this forum that they have given me this opportunity. So without taking much of time, I would like to take up to the real issues of AR. And in fact, I will advise that taking the case as AR, itself, I feel that it's a matter of decision that you have to take, you as a professional. Okay, because let me tell you the example of say suppose a case like Lavasa Corporation, wherein I am the AR. Okay, during COVID time, I have taken over that case. It has got more than maybe 1,500 home buyers. So I was replacement of some other because of his health issues. He was to retire, and then I took over. Then again, this process started. I think it took couple of years me also to get into the things, explain the resolution plans, and finally, maybe in the last year 23, we had a resolution. Okay, so we had a resolution. So I thought my job is over. Okay, so I was happy. Okay, something okay happened. Now suddenly after 1 year time, I find that again I'm into the same position, because that after failure of the resolution plan, NCLT has order for reinstate of CRP. Again, a very unique case. I'm ever heard that failing of the resolution plan, you again start the CRP process. Now the question is that what was my role? During monitoring, what was my role after that? It's all very evolving things. And I'm also, just allow me.
Harsha, your voice is.
Yes, sorry, I had some guests. So, being festival time, I also engaged with this thing. So, excuse me for that. So, that everything is evolving. So, IBBI is also evolving, and they have come up with some set of rules which are extending the liability of the AR. So, I will just, if you allow me, I can share the PPT. So, request host to kindly.
Namrata, kindly check. I think he's co-host, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Harshad sir?
now I can share this.
Yeah, you can share it, Shadi.
Can you see now on the screen?
Yes, we can see it.
So I will be talking about roles and responsibility of authorized representative of the home buyers in the real estate insolvency. So real estate insolvency, by default, you will see that this ARs are there because there will be home buyers. So you will find that in the real estate company, 90% of the cases there will be some AR. The first and foremost challenge to IP is to find the AR. Okay, because in some of the matters I was handling, I was finding it very difficult, because what happens is that some people who would be interested, but for which we means we know that perhaps they don't have that relevant experience. So these people, perhaps will not be best persons. Secondly, that you have to see to it that this AR is generally closer to the sites. That helps a lot, because if the AR is not aware about the physical locality uh, he will not be able to understand the mentality or that locational thing, because real estate is about the location. If the location of the property changes, if the even road touching it changes, it has got severe implications. So location has a very big role to play in the real estate cases. So AI's role is a very crucial in protecting the interest of the home buyers in the real estate insolvency proceedings, and they also advocate to ensure the compliances with the regulations, navigate the complex legal landscape to secure the best possible outcome. So this is what the challenging job is of the AR. I think my introduction has already been given by Rajesh Bhai. I will just skip this slide for the moment. So understanding the AR's role in the home buyer's process. So I feel that there are three important aspects. That is the legal expertise, then advocacy, and third is the communication. So legal expertise means they should have a in-depth knowledge of the real estate laws and regulations. So real estate is a separate territory in IBC. So you will find that many of the IPs, they are specialized in the sector. So I feel that the real estate is the one sector which perhaps you will find that there are specialized people and they are focused mainly on the real estate estates, and that specialization of course helped them a lot. So it involves a lot of uh, technicalities, not only in terms of RERA. So everybody thinks that okay, once you RERA, that is enough for the ARs or IPs or any resolution professional for real estate agents. It is not like that. AR is the one subset. There are so many, and let me tell you one example. In the recent case, what we found is that uh, in Mumbai, there was the radar of that airport has been, changed by 4 degrees. The impact is that it has got increased, but nobody understood what is the impact. What happened is that one of the real estate insolvency case, so there was impact on it that 3 floors of that buildings are not available. So out of 13 floor, you can now only construct 10 floor. Now the here the the how the complexity is that it is a kind of a small, I will say it's a small society, or rather the society with number of buildings. All the buildings around side are 13 floors, and in between building, which is constructed last, now it has hit this. They are saying that they don't allow this after 10 floor. So it is being very weird position, and it has impacted that insolvency like anything. Because 3 floors of construction, so almost 30% of your carpet area is getting lost, and suddenly a project which looks to be revivable, it's not worth it. So it requires extremely, contemporary knowledge of the law and the developments and in and around. It could be a fire. See, in Lavasa Corporation, we face the challenge of this EC, that is the environmental clearances, water and what all whatnot, earthquakes. So this requires a lot of legal expertise. Of course, nobody is expert, so this will grow as the things will progress. Now with the experiences what I'm getting, I have slowly and gradually I have realized that this call could be the things. So that's the reason when Raviji given me that suggestion that home buyers, even though they come together, don't do development yourself. Get to the architect, get to a good developer. He only can do the things, not any common person. So this legal things is very important. Second one is the advocacy. So it should be AR is the advocate for the home buyer's interest. You know? So what happens is that as a AR, I will always say that whatever you get, no matter how silly that question is, or no matter how irrelevant that question is big, whatever is there, you put to the use. Okay. So you are like you act as a postman. So first thing. Okay, sometimes we also feel that some of the questions are really not relevant. But otherwise, you have to be advocate. So whatever your client says, that is the in this case home base, just pass it on to the COC. Don't keep it anything with you, and let the wisdom be exercised by COC and get back to. So earlier it was a job of more of a postman. Now, with this new regulations, I think Mishra ji has nicely taken up that topic, and I'm thankful to him that many of the things he has covered, so that that has reduced my burden on my shoulders to take you to this. So, as an insolvency professional, I'm sure that all of you are aware about this. But over the course of time, we will also recap these legal provisions if at all required. So as a home buyer, again I said that in home buyers means generally you see that as given the example of this AR's position is like a society chairman. That everybody you do anything, there is problem because there is some group. Suppose you do something for society, they will say that okay, this should have done earlier. Somebody will say that why you are done like this. You know? Somebody will say that what is your interest? Why you are done this? Somebody will say that why you are not done this? Should have done this. So anything you do, anything you do. So some class of people, they perhaps will say it in a different way than you do. So that remains a challenge. So that's the reason many of the IPs, they don't they are not much keen. And what happens is that you are also subject to some litigation. So if something, some group, they are not somehow they don't like you or whatever reason, or they, because generally IPs, we are very factful, and we are very neutral. But if you talk to the sense, you talk to the right things, perhaps people think otherwise. For example, if there is a provision, okay, in the recent case, there is a class of creators. Now, this home buyers, they don't have registered document, and their claims are lying in the category of other creators because they don't have documents. Now, this they are saying that my claim is admitted, but you are not giving me any amount in the resolution plan. So we are telling them again and again, your claim is admitted, but your claim is in the category of other creators. It is not home buyer category. You are not home buyer itself. But they think that we are driven by that RA or RP or something. So that is a part and parcel of our life. You know. So anything you do, you are subject to criticism. So that's the reason you will find that people with like me, I'm being into council, so we are always subject to criticism. So that is okay. So if you are okay with that, you would be having a good. You can do a job nicely without affecting your personal life, because what also happens in home buyer case is that a small case, okay, now 150 home buyers, suppose, okay, they may be having a 5 lakh 2 lakh rupees, maybe some crores of rupees in some cases. But if they are smaller, they will create more nuisance. They will keep on calling you again and again, again and again. They will write to you emails, they will come to your office, they will come in groups, what or whatnot, because for them that is a very sizable amount, and that affects their life. You know. So that remains a point, that how much you can handle them, and how if you say no, there is again a problem. Perhaps somebody will put complaint against you, somebody will go to IPPI, somebody will approach some other forums, and unnecessary हम बोलते हैं ना, खाया पिया कुछ नहीं, ग्लास थोड़ा ठंडा, वैसे वाली बात हो जाती है. मेरे केस में भी कुछ हुआ है कि मैंने कुछ किया नहीं. आई हैव बीन home buyers who have selected me as their representative, they have filed a case against me. Okay. So I'm saying that, okay, instead of filing the cases, what is the best course of action is that you remove it. है ना? If you don't want, you put somebody else and get over. They are not doing that, but they say that, sir, आप ही को करना है, but if I do something, the other class will not be. So I've fought that case at my own cost. That cost is not yet being received from the COC. Then it matter go on to NCA rating. Okay, so appellate में भी जा चुके हैं. So perhaps if the matter is not decided, you have to go to Supreme Court. So also you have to keep in mind that litigation risk also will be there when you are advocating for somebody. So this is a very unique thing. Some time back, maybe 6 months back, we had a one IBBI conference on real estate in Delhi. So I was a part and parcel of it. Many of the NCLT and NCLT judges were there, including chairman. So I explained them these things. But as of now, I have not seen any great relief. But the responsibilities are getting added and added. Nothing is being. There is no relief. There are no protection of the areas, because I have covered in my slides also that one more decision that you have to think of, that कि इतना सब करके आपको क्या मिल रहा है, and for what you are doing. So that question also I will be answering in the last part. In fact, Rajesh Bhai has asked certain very nice questions, and if possible, in fact, what he has asked questions till today, I'm not able to find the answers. So I'm also Rajesh Bhai, I'm in the same boat. So let us all together put a collective wisdom and see to it that we get some good answers, and in good faith, and also in the best interest of the creators, and also in the best interest of the IPs. Then communication. So this communication AR serves as a bridge between the home buyers, developers, authorities, and facilitating the effective communication and information sharing. But sometimes it also becomes too much. Your mailbox is flooded with unnecessary mails. What happens is that suppose there are again groups of home buyers. So in their groups, they put, okay, all of them they put a kind of a template and throw this to AR. Okay. So suddenly you will see that 80, 100 emails dropping up like anything. So sometimes your mailbox also gets flooded and you find some important emails are being missed. So this communication, but a balanced communication. It should not be too much also. Otherwise you will get lost in that assignment and again I'm coming back to the time and the returns. So how much time you have to invest in this case, that is also a matter of concern that you have to note when you are taking the AR assignments. Frankly speaking, taking the AR assignment you will easily find, because as I said that many of the IPs are not interested in AR jobs. Okay, so many AR jobs you will be able to find it very easily. With if you are having, one good thing is that the IP has to propose at least first time 3 IPs. So have a good contacts with the IPs, है ना. हेमंत भाई, राजेश भाई या फिर रविंद्र भाई है तो उनसे अच्छा संपर्क बनाइए, तो he will be perhaps helping you to get at least first assignment as a year, है ना. So that is a good thing that will help us we as a bring gathering as a community, uh, and of course it is also nice. Sometimes also gets a lot of good, like I have given the example of Lava Sram. Why I have done not for money, because I thought ki this project perhaps is closer to my city, that I stay in Pune. This project has a lot of potential. Then I could find that perhaps there are higher middle class people who are involved. Some of them, close to me, they have their money stuck. So I wanted to do something, in the bigger sense. So of course, CIRP resolution is passed, but it is failed. So again, we will do the reiteration of that process. And I have written one article called as my Lavasa story. So I have to write one more article, my Lavasa story part 2, like just like Bahubali and Bahubali returns type. This has happened. So I don't know how many parts will come up, but at least second, third I have to write. I will do that. So this communication is very important. So again, I say that sometimes don't be too much empathetical. It happens in some cases, give a lot of importance to some things, and it may or may not be worth it. Navigating the challenges in the real estate insolvency. So coming back to the real estate insolvency, the challenges what I see is the uncertainty, that insolvency proceedings can be unpredictable, requiring ARs to be adaptable, responsive to the challenging circumstances. So as I said that suddenly a proposal or a plan which was viable, you will see that there is some amendment in the development plans or some changes in the FSI rules. Maybe elections are coming. So you never know what can happen, and suddenly you will see that the project which was viable suddenly has not become viable. So a lot of uncertainty till last point. And as I see that now, in fact, plan is also approved now. IBBI publishes the stats of how many plans are approved. Now I want one more step. How many plans are actually implemented and the money has been paid? No, what I find that a lot of plans are failed. So that statistics is not yet been given to us. So we don't know what is the after resolution plan approval, what happens. We are completely clueless. So days to come, perhaps that stats also will be available, and that will give us the real implementation of the and success of the resolution plans. Then competing areas. So ARs must balance the needs of the home buyers with the interests of the developer, creators, and other stakeholders. See, this is a very challenging job. Uh, this is a kind of a triangle or quadrilateral. You have a developer, you have the home buyers, you have the financial creators, you have the authorities, and you have to mix and match and get some possible outcome. In most of the cases, AR don't rather these home buyers don't understand. They always say that, sir, at least you give us our principal amount back, at least you give our principal plus interest, whatever. And they are not at all in the position to accept the fact that they are their money has been lost, and what you are trying to do is that get the money back somehow. They are not able to understand. So uh, again, some academic background, those who are good orators or good speakers, good professors, they would be a good resource to have this home buyers understand the reality of the life. Sometimes it becomes, when we tell them things, what happens is that on the one side, the RP or the developer or the PRA or the RA, they gives them a lot of good promises. And when suddenly we tell them the real facts, then they feel that this AR is the obstacle. So इसको ही पहले हटा दो, है ना? क्योंकि AR जो बोल रहा है ना, वो सब उल्टा बोल रहा है, नेगेटिव बोल रहा है, ये नहीं होगा, वो नहीं होगा. एक्चुअली व्हाट यू आर ट्राइंग टू टेल देम दैट कि फैक्ट देखो. कोई भी बोलता है अभी प्लान अप्रूव होगा, सर मेरा प्लान अप्रूव होगा, तो फिर नेक्स्ट मंथ से वो मिल जाएगा पैसा. तो अभी इसमें हम जब बताते हैं कि नहीं पापा, इसमें 4 महीना लगेगा, 6 महीना लगेगा, देन दे से दैट सर आप तो बोल रहे 6 महीने, आ रहे तो बोल रहे हैं 2 महीने में करके दूंगा. So it becomes very difficult. I find that कि I am, somebody in the meeting also said to me of Mumbai कि सर आप मैनेज हो गई हो, आप है ना सब गलत बोलते हो, आपका कुछ ये है ना. तो these things happens, and again, always you have to be receptive as a RP or as a AR. You have to just listen. Uh, it is, if you say something, then it becomes a issue. So one has to be very careful about it. Time sensitivity. The
Acha.
prompt action is critical to the protecting the home buyers' investment and securing their interest in their timely manner. So time is the essence, but home buyers, one good thing now with that amendment has happened that they have allowed us to conduct 2 meetings. At least some, I think 10,000, 12,000, 15,000, three stages they have mentioned, but some money is being paid. So that is the role that perhaps is being given. In addition to that, we are being paid the fees based on the number of meetings to attend. So, but I find that here the gap is that, in between meetings, whatever work you are doing, so it is not getting paid. So, going forward, I think the AR fees also has to be some monthly fees. That is what I feel, that instead of paying it per meeting, there is no point. Some COC have 30, 40 meetings, some COC has 10 meetings. So how does that, number of meetings change the work of AR? That I fail to understand. So sometime we have to also think about that AR being paid some monthly remuneration instead of, paying it fee wise. So that is also one more point. Then, so that will perhaps again give, otherwise, as a AR, so you want to, if you have done a good job, you always feel that you have to get remunerated. So remuneration, you have to keep saying RP sir, आप meeting करो और एक meeting करो और एक meeting करो. So why to do that? I mean, if you are being paid based on the time spent, so it will be better. So IBBI perhaps has to think about this aspect as well.
Arshad ji,
Then, yes,
before
sir.
you go, Arshad ji,
Yes, sir.
one request before you go to the next slide.
Yes, sir.
Can we just, make this session as an interactive session and take few
Yeah, sir.
questions
So
which
any
are on
question
the
comes in
chat
between,
box?
you are the moderator, sir. You have every right to.
Yeah. So it will be, interactive meeting, and I think there has been one question which has been posted. You
Yes, sir.
stated there that you were the AR, and through the role it is over once plan was approved. However, to your surprise, plan failed, and CRP started again. Not sure how this is possible. I thought once CRP period is over, it will be liquidation. I think this is the question which has been asked by one of the participant. So you can answer that question. Thereafter, I'll switch to next question.
Correct. So absolutely right question. So in fact, this is again the first case I have ever heard that plan is failed, and you again go back to CRP. Generally, it goes to liquidation. So what has happened actually now? This plan has been approved. After plan approval, there were a lot of meetings. Okay. In fact, after plan approval by CRP, there were meetings. After plan approval by NCLT, there were a lot of meetings. In the monitoring committee, there were a lot of meetings. I know. So we spent all the times, but this all is unbelievable work. So I'm not being paid any amount for that. And again, it restored back to the CRP. So this is again a unique case. It's not anywhere written, but in the court, in its wisdom, they have passed such order. So again, I'm stated back as my position as a. So always there is a confusion that what I should write in between time, because uh, so that confusion is there. So I also don't know how it is possible, but it has happened.
Yeah.
With your permission,
So I hope.
with your
Yeah,
permission,
please.
can I supplement on this restarting of a resolution plan after it has been closed actually.
Definitely.
Can I,
Sure, sir. Sure. You can please, sir.
in
It
one
will
of the
be
cases,
a valuation.
I won't name it. That's not a real estate case. That's an infrastructure case. A plan was rejected by NCLT and headed for liquidation. But subsequently, the resolution applicant put up a separate plan different from the original one, which was rejected in NCLT Chennai. And NCLT ordered it to be restarted. So there have been precedences where cases which have been ordered to be liquidated, the resolution process is again restarted also in an infrastructure company. So that's all I want to supplement.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was a good
sir.
question.
Thank you for your valuable inputs. Yeah. Another question is, Harshad ji, in case of home buyers, CRP where it is going to liquidation, how to treat the UDS? Now, what is the meaning by UDS? I think I will have to ask to the query people. Already registered in home buyer's name, whether it forms a part of liquidation estate or not. It has been asked by Mr. N. Kumar. So, N. Kumar ji, you can elaborate what exactly you wanted to ask by UDS.
Deepti ma'am or Namrita madam, kindly try to unmute him. You have to unmute him from.
Yeah, Mr. N. Kumar, just explain your query so that the speaker can reply it and we can have an interactive session.
If he is not available, I'm a colleague of his. from the
It's
same town.
it's an undivided piece of land. I think that is what is been answered in the query sheet. It's an divided share of land.
Undivided share.
Yeah, undivided. So now I think I can complete the question. Once again, repeat the question for the query. In case of home buyers, CRP where it is going to liquidation, how to treat the undivided share already registered in home buyer's name, whether it forms a part of liquidation estate or not. I think this property might be somewhere in south. I think that is the or some other part means not in Maharashtra or anywhere. So there has been in the society normally in Maharashtra it is the society who is the owner of the land, but in south or somewhere I think it is the all the flat holders are having the undivided share. That I think the queryant want to ask about it. So you can correct me, and Arshad ji, if you have any idea, you can reply.
Can I add to that? Otherwise, the speaker won't be able to understand this because I'm from South.
Yes.
It is very peculiar
Yes.
to South. You may have a project of 1 acre. You may have bought only one flat, but several times the practice is that for that one flat, your share is registered without specifying where in that 5 acres it is registered. Okay, so you could say that it's registered all. So as a result, in future, when you're trying to sell the portion which has not been allotted to this person, it hits a roadblock. I don't think it's a fair question in a forum like this, but I'm telling this. Okay.
See, according to me, that this is a kind of right. Okay, the right which is you have, but it is not. It's identified or it's not undivided share. So it doesn't have marketability. So what happens is that if you want to sell your portion of the right, which is in the form of UDS, so in that case, so what happens is that you are not able to have marketability of such UDS unless and otherwise you come up all together and sell it, because the marketability remains anybody in liquidation, he would buy the entire share, he will not buy one or two like that. So according to me, that in the liquidation, if it is going, so it will be together. Cannot be that rights will not have any value when it is not identified.
My belief is whoever is buying it should go and get a NOC from each of these UDS people. Very, very painful. But
that is not possible practically.
Yeah, it's not even possible.
So otherwise, all of them, if they get NOC, instead of that, they will also sell their property. I mean, if they are getting good value.
Which is why this used to happen 10 years back. Now developers have become smarter and now they're registering over a certain earmarked area of land, the UDS, so that the balance is free for sale later. Okay, thanks. But I'm not Yan Kumar and he's my colleague. I don't know where he is. Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Raghavan is actually, he's trying to reply. Yes, in Tamil Nadu, each of the individual flat holders will have share of the UDS of the total property in the project. UDS cannot be the part of the liquidation estate. That is what Mr. Raghavan has already replied. Anyhow, thank you, sir. And the earlier our guest of the day, he has already there was a query which was been asked that whether home buyers can come together and they can form a association sort of thing, and they can complete the incomplete project. So in one of the case of Metallica industry, where the plan was been prepared by me and I was representing the home buyers association, we had completed the 800. There were 800 plus home buyers in that case. It was an industrial park. It is called Kamla Industrial Park at Kandivali in Mumbai. So that has been successfully completed. No doubt, as rightly said by Arshad ji, that you require certain builder or some developers who is well known with that area and that territory. So the home buyers association has chosen one of the builder and they had completed the project. So this is to supplement the discussion which was been raised in the initial stage of the discussion.
But
Thank
when,
you.
sir,
Harshad ji, you may go ahead,
Hemant
please.
sir, I'm asking further whether
Yeah.
are they required to approach NCLT for the required direction under section 60 subsection 5, or directly the COC has approved that?
No, in fact, the cases were pending prior to CRP, so there were case which was going in the High Court as well as then NCLT also they had approved. In fact, they formed the association, and then they become resolution applicant officially, and then they put up a resolution plan, and the resolution plan was been prepared by me, so I was the instrumental to make them together, because to make 800 people together itself is a challenge. There were 3-4 groups among that group also, among 800 people also. So to explain each and every group about that, we organize a dinner party, and for we call all the 800 peoples, and then the plan took we called the legal expert and everybody on the stage, and thereafter it was been sorted out and everybody came together. So now that is a Kambla Industrial Park. You can still just go through it. It was a case of Metallica Industries versus SBI. So I was an instrumental to resolve that plan. So just for that, ready reference of this audience, it was a successful plan. So Arshad ji, you can go ahead, please. In your
Yes, very nice to note
further.
your this case. In fact, these sharings would really help our community to take some help and proceed ahead with the solutions. don't have much of only 2-3 slides. I have more prepared, so quickly I will go through. So then we'll start with the question and answer sessions. Then legal representation. So AR provide legal representation for home buyers. Now this is again one more thing that strangely has come up. AR has to file the cases on behalf of the class of creditors. So as I said that sometimes you agree with their uh, representations or sometimes you don't agree. But now we by this amendment you have to be a part of that thing. But I think again this remains again a big question mark, because I've seen so many times that in some of the cases that cases are being filed and it has been filed by some association and it is AR is not available. Okay, so it is happening today also. And according to me, everybody has got right to seek his legal remedy, so nobody can stop them. So if class of creators are, I will put it in a single group and dedicated and behind you, then you can very much defend for their rights. But in most of the CRP assignments in real estate where home buyers are there, I find that this becomes very challenging. Again, your time, the legal costs, who will be the parties, then what if that subsequently they change their stance. These are the questions that we have to take into account before we go ahead for any legal actions. Then stakeholder coordination. So this is again one more task which is the AR suddenly becomes the home buyers think that AR is their god. Okay, he is the one who can negotiate with developer, financial creditors, as well as with the RP, and he can bring something. So they expect some miracles from ARs, and AR is, as I said, that it's an extended version of Postman. So he keeps on telling that I will convey your message and get back to you. And at the end of the process, if the outcome is not positive, people conclude that AR has not done his job. You know. So this again is a hard reality of this AR role. Then transparency, to maintain the transparency throughout the process, keeping home buyers informed. So at least important things that you have to involve. Sometimes they get too much involved, so that is also is a very risky thing. In some of the matters, I find that uh, AR it doesn't know anything, but home buyers themselves are filing cases. They are going approaching directly to authorities. Sometimes they are not really knowing in some of the cases they approach the government authorities, maybe the MADA or this SRA development or SIDCO. So directly approach, and that creates hindrances in the process. So that also we have to communicate to them that don't be over enthusiastic. So ensuring the compliances and legal and regulatory requirements. So this is also very important, that regulatory oversight. So you ensure that all the proceedings adhere to the relevant law, regulations, and protecting the interest of the home buyers from the all the legal pitfalls. Moreover, you also see to it that you are complied with the all the duties what is being listed in that 10 points what Mishra ji said in the beginning. See to it that you are not failing. Some delays sometimes happens because of some practical things, but make sure that that delay doesn't happen the home buyers. So that is one thing I will definitely will advise. Documentation. So you have to maintain the meticulous documentation to demonstrate that you have done your job and compliance and support to the home buyer claims. In fact, one more this challenge is that all the home buyers are after you, sir. Mera claim short admit hua hai. IP team, if they don't respond, they come to you because they think that you are their representative. So all their small questions, you have to devote a time. You have to go through their all the documents. So this is all the charity work that you have to do once you have taken up the job as a yeah. So if it is small case, so 10 plus home buyers, then it is okay. Up to 100 is also okay, but 100 plus and 1000 plus are the ones you have to really be sure about, whether you want to do it or not. The legal representative, you have to provide the legal representative home buyers to ensuring the interests are protected in the court of law. So sometimes you have to also go and advise them because they don't know anything. So you have to advise them, okay, they have to file the claim, how to file the claim, that timelines, when to file with the RP, when to file with the NCLT, to whom to contact. So, of course, you cannot file any claim on behalf of the home buyers. So, you have to guide them that, okay, you approach this IP or this advocate or this chartered accountant or cost accountant or company secretary and get your work done. So, this all coordination work that comes with your job. I think this is
Arshad there
just
has been raise of hand by some. So I request the audience to kindly park your question in the question box, so that once Arshad complete one slide, we can definitely take the questions after completion of the slide. Mr. Ghosh wanted to ask something.
Yes, sir.
Subrata Ghosh.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for giving me opportunity. Actually, this is just like I have a case of just like a home buyer. It is already, I am a liquidator of that particular case. Before my taking as a liquidator, already it is developed and sold it out. 80% of the land and buyers have taken. But original landward mortgage with a certain bank. But the bank right now claim that one, and now they have relinquished the right to liquidator. That means me. What is my role right now? Because home buyers also, 80% home buyer who bought their flats or shops, they are interested to negotiate with the bank and the total process so that they can come their right for future selling because the land is disputed because it is mortgage with bank and they have got a registered deed with the earlier SBOD and the developer. So can you highlight anything? What is I can do? I can sell 20% of the thing. That is the portion of SBOD. But what about the rest of the 80%? Home buyers are interested to negotiate and with the other partner, and so that it can get their right of fully 100%. What will law says according to IBC? Sir.
Harshadji,
Actually, this question is not
Harshadji,
clear to me that you are liquidator.
I am a liquidator of a land or home buyer where home buyer is there. 80% they have purchased from the earlier SBOD and the developer. Developer had signed with the SBOD, but original land was mortgaged with the bank without acknowledged from the bank or consent from the bank. That was fraudulently done by the SBOD. Now the 80% of the home buyer want to come to a negotiation because they want a clear deed, though it was registered with the local, registered authorities, but they want to come to a solution with the bank that so that they're in future they can
Yes.
sell it.
Solution would
full
be
right.
that only that they have to negotiate with the secured financial creditor and
Secured financially agreed to negotiate,
but
and they are
they can
also
do the
agreed.
assignment of rights. No?
Yeah. So what will the NCLT role? Should we go to NCLT and tell?
No need to go to NCLT. You can execute assignment deed, and the secured creditor at some consideration they will endorse that rights to the home buyers, and then home buyers they become owner of the entire land, and they can perhaps go for going concern liquidation or maybe something like that, and they can construct the remaining part of it.
But it is right now liquidation. No, that is a part of a liquidation.
So going concern liquidation you can always do.
Not as going concern. All other things are not there, sir. Only one
Going
piece of
concern
land is there.
consideration means, see again, going concern means not running unit. It is just
No, that's true.
services.
But right now court is involved because it is under court. So without court knowledge and without touching the NCLT adjudicating authority, if I go outside the court, again there will be a question future. Somebody may raise question.
To be honest, now this is a very specific case. I think I cannot
Yes,
make any
sir.
comment.
That's what I'm saying. This is a specific case of SBOD is there,
We cannot,
home buyers are there, NCLT is already under liquidation for last 4-5 years. So, but I got it
I
6-7
think
months back. Got this 6-7
Mr.
months.
Ghosh, I think to supplement Arshadji, I can say that, let there be an association formed by the home buyer. Then after that association, the association will approach the NCLT, stating that they are interested in developing this property by hiring some good developer, or either they can interact with a good developer, and good developer can represent the home buyers, and they can put it the proposal of going concern during liquidation. So that
Sir,
can be possible,
I am
and that
interacting you. Sir, it is already developed. 80% is sold out and 20% is remaining. With SBOD's portion, there is a two portion. One is developer portion, 80% is sold out. And home buyers are right now coming to for a negotiation because they come to know this is a mortgage land. On that, they have purchased these flats or shops. And they are have a association. Association has approached me that they are going to give certain amount of money so that the original, original lender means that is a bank or financial institution can give up their right to in their favor. But as a liquidator, I am middle. I am right now.
Sir, again, I tell you that it will be very difficult to address in the forum because there are too many things that we need to know before we answer. So if you can drop me email, I will be able to help you with something.
Yeah. Can you share your mail ID? I will drop you the
I will
mail.
share at the last.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks for patient hearing and give me a solution. Definitely, I will put this thing also before adjudicating authority and ask for his or her direction regarding this issue. But before that, I must know what should be my right as per this recent case laws and law. Thank you.
So just
Yeah, thank you, sir.
again repeating that.
I think, Arshad ji, you can just
So,
go ahead, and then we will take the rest of the question after completion of this slide.
just one, I think this I have already discussed, so I will just skip, I will take it quickly. That, that communications with home buyers, developers, authorities, I think this I have explained, so I will not take much on this slide. Yeah, but the issues and common concerns faced by ARs. First is the delayed refunds, delays in the entire process, no matter whatever the claim size is or whatever the project is, uh, making the timely payments, nobody can guarantee. So that really affects. And some of the home buyers, the peculiar situation is that they have taken loan from some other bank. So they always expect that my EMI should be backed up by the payment of that repayment from that wherever I have invested. And they always compare that, sir, मुझे इतना loan है और आप इतना ही दे रहे हो, and this imbalances, and they feel always that I should not be burdened with the cost. They always feel that SBI has given, suppose he is a secured creditor, and the same bank has given loan to me. So they always say, they want to say that, "Ki, why don't SBI settle this both and get me out of it." So that is legally something not possible. So this points we have to explain them. Then alternatives. So here I will advise you that as when you are proposing for a resolution for the UMS, you have to give a multiple options. Okay. So somebody they don't have patience. They want to exit. So for them, you have to have that upfront payment option open. Some of them are ready to wait if they get some good amount back. So for them, there could be some way out. Some of them are deadly, like I want home in that property itself. So for them, again, you have to have some other options. So in fact, as IP or as a AR, what I have done earlier also is that in the same plan, we have given a different exits to different classes of Bombas, okay, based on their needs. So we have given the various options, and within the same plan, they can exit at different point of time. So this was the one thing that I think as a year I have done, and which was very much appreciated, and all the home buyers I could align. So we have to work upon the different alternatives, and there wherein I find that this is the biggest role that AR has to play. So here is the real challenge I feel, and also if it happens, it's a new innovation from your side, and that is something we call it as a contribution to the people, contribution for the nation. So this is something that you have to think about. Then coordination challenges, communication challenges. So that is a issue very central to the role of AR. And last but not the least is the fees and litigation. Okay. So as a AR, you are paid uh, only two types of fees. One is the fees for attending the meeting, and now the fees to conduct the meetings of home base. So two meetings are allowed. So there, that is only two revenue streams you are available. Other than that, you are not being paid. So what you have to think about is that how much you are going to get out of it, how much effort you are putting, what is the kind of volume of work, litigation is there. As I said that I myself have faced the problems at NCLT and NCLT level. Fortunately, I had all the documents, all the records to prove that I have whatever I have done was as per the law. So I could get immunity. I could not. There was no any adverse order against us. But intentionally, not intentionally, but unintentionally, some things can go wrong, and for which also you have to keep in mind that you are made responsible. So that factor also you have to think about when you are taking a role as a AR. The fees, I'm telling you, like any other IP say that these fees are not paid generally on time. Not time, forget even delayed also not paid. They comes at some after years. So don't commit anything about the fees that based on the fees. Don't plan anything. It is just like gift which would become someday. and that would be the day when you can celebrate your success as a year. And coming to my last slide, I think at this point I have discussed changes in the regulations. I think we have discussed about this, so I will not take. So conclusions and takeaways, I will always say that by leveraging your expertise, advocating for these buyers and navigating the complex legal landscape, we can ensure that the home buyers' investments and rights are safeguarded. And also we can revive certain projects which could be a great contribution to the economy to our country. The big question is that whether it fits our own cost benefit analysis in terms of the remunerations and the duties required to be performed. So I think this was the presentation from my side, and thank you very much for this. And I questions and answers, if any are there, they are most welcome.
Yes, Harshaji, there are number of series of questions. I think we may start by one. Uh, uh, just a minute, I'll just.
Mr. Balasubramaniam has raised his hand. Can we unmute him?
Yeah,
Madam.
Please,
Yeah,
madam.
madam.
Please.
Yeah, madam. Thanks for this opportunity. Madam, this is Balasubramanian IP from Chennai. Right now, I'm working in Karusha Bank as Chief Manager. I'm going to start my practice from November onwards. I would like to answer the question raised by. Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yes, please. Yeah, you are
sir.
audible. Very
I would
well
like
audible.
to.
You can just.
Share my thoughts on this. That question raised by one of our colleague regarding that home buyers. They got 80% flats out of the total project, and the land which is already mortgaged with some bank, else bank. So they are the financial creditors. In that case, what is the best solution would be if they are willing to take the land itself, because which is already mortgaged, they can sit with the bank because they are subsequent purchasers. They have right over the property. By settling the first charge holder, that is the bank, they have priority over the project, the land area. So they can settle with the bank, and as a subsequent buyer, they will get priority once the bank's dues are settled, sir. So they will get the total charge over the over the assets, as well as if on the other side, if they want to participate, or if they want to take this unit or the company as a going concern, they can form an association through them, through the association. They can bid for the property. Out of the profits, the settlement, the dues of the bank can be settled, and they will get the property, sir. This is my thought process on that issue.
Yeah, there has been even a response from the the audience also. Mr. Ravindran IP. I think they said home buyers can join together and can come with resolution plan under sections 37M. One of my case, 2 projects-wise plans submitted by Association of the Home Buyers got approved by NCLT Kochi. Yeah, this is an information, not an question. But anyhow, I hope that the thing has already started in the correct way, and home buyers have already, they are very familiar with the majority of them are now the information which are available on the net and everywhere, in the Facebook and even in the internet. So they are very familiar, very much familiar with this process, and now they are getting the education over it, and they, like the cases like yours can be resolved easily. Now, the next question is from R. Raghavan. What constitute liquidation estate is the question to be addressed in the case of Mr. Ghosh. I think this is in response of the query which has been raised by Mr. Ghosh. Somebody is asking a mail ID and phone number of Arshadji. So you can put your, definitely Arshadji, you can put that mail ID, and then there has been a, the next is regarding Surface Act. What time we can apply? I am interested in selling assets. If anything in Karnataka, please let me know. I think this is just, I think one of the respondent has responded in this manner, but it is not in query. ARS Lakshmi Subramanian, AR fees is increased as per a new regulation. Whether COC approval is required. So Arshad ji, you can ask, you can answer this question.
Now ARPC increase, yes, COC approval is now required for the each item of cost. है ना? So now that again there is a regulation which says that any cost, may it be a going concern cost to run the factory or any fees paid, so any expense incurred, of course it needs a approval of COC. Of course now the matter has been codified in the regulations, so COC cannot, ideally should not disapprove it. But as a procedure, you have to get the IT approved from the COC.
Mhm. So friends, I think majority of question has been answered by me. But
We can
anyhow,
have
I
a
would
few
like to
more
supplement.
questions here.
I would like to, yes, sir. I would like to supplement that, whatever has been still said by Harshad ji. As regard to the awareness in AR, appointment of AR, I have been experiencing in the case of Shah Builders that, while appointment of AR, the RP had suggested three names. The association was very, consisting of educated people, and then they took interview of all the three ARs who were named in the public announcement. They decided, and then after taking the interview of all the ARs, and sharing their profiles, they decided one of among them, and then they choose that AR. So this kind of awareness has already now come to the home buyers, where people are together and there is an association. However, as a duty to AR, first meeting has to be, now you are allowed to have a COC, pre-COC meeting and post-COC meeting with the AR. So at the time when you are appointed as an AR, first meeting you can address with the home buyer is uh, exactly tell your duty as an AR, what kind of duties and responsibility as an AR you are been appointed, and what is your role, because the home buyers are not aware about the insolvency and bankruptcy provision, law provision and duties of AR. So they now here and there, ask each and every question. They just disturb you when you are on some other work. Each and every home buyer you cannot answer, and even the calls also has been started receiving once you are appointed as an AR, and there are so many things which has been disturbed. So you need to educate the AR by calling their meeting, and specify your role right from the beginning only, that my work is limited to this extent only. I cannot just go beyond the, this role which has been specified under the code. And, if there are certain questions related to claims or short admission of claims or no admission of claims, that may be raised through me, but that I will definitely approach the RP's office and let you know. But otherwise, I have very limited role in that. Otherwise, people are asking you here and there why my claim has been admitted shortly. I have paid this much money, and RP has not admitted my claim full to the full extent, or there has been many things. So these kind of things, you need to be very much clear at the first meeting only with the home buyers, so that they are also clear about your role, and then they will just ask about whatever they are supposed to ask in the in the home buyers meeting. So this is one of the things which I would like to
Aman sir,
say.
you have
Yeah.
raised 2 points which I want to second
Yes,
it. First, you have said
yes,
that
sir.
the awareness among the home buyer has increased, and they out of
Yes,
three they are taking the interview and they are appointing out of one. So the law is
yes,
very
yes, yes,
clear that the appointment should be made as per the highest number of the supporters. So I
yes,
accept
yes,
that among the meeting they have to board, and whomsoever is the highest can be appointed. There is one peculiar
yes, yes,
situation sometime, although that matter have been discussed in NCLT while because say there were total 200 claim is filed, out of which uh, 20 board gone to A and 90 to B, and say 89 to C. But however, the 89C is having a higher boat admitted claim. So the bench member has asked this question during the appointment of AR, that by the RP has recommending the 90. Yes, sir. So law is based on the highest number of boat, right? Not highest number of
Right.
claim. Am I correct, sir?
Yes, yes. I think highest number of vote should be the thing. But Arshadji, you can tell me that whether the perception is right, whether it should be the number of home buyers who are voting in favor, or it is the percentage of home buyers voting in favor. Arshadji.
It is the sir that it goes by voting rights. Number of yes, it is a little bit.
So in my opinion, the branch has considered 90 only, in spite of this fact that the amount admitted claim was less.
Hey, sir, I think what you have asked, na, partially I agree with you that wording is perhaps something very dicey, but in generally in any voting, so number doesn't matter. It's not. It is not like a cooperative
That,
society
that
where
is not the COC voting. And here there is a difference. There's a thin line. Because I was also confused that time, but that matter have been discussed in NCLT, and NCLT has agreed on that later. That as far as the appointment of AR is concerned, it will go by number of voter, not amount of quantum of above.
Right, sir. Absolutely right. This is all by the numbers only.
It's number only.
Yes, yes. Because at that time COC is not constituted.
Yes. So that is one. That is Hemant sir has very nicely just given one example that once this practice is being followed and awareness is become more, that they will call all three and they will appoint, it will reduce the burden of AR also who will be appointed, and it will be easier in during the course of appointment of, I guess, NCLT. That, sir, one more thing, Harshat sir, the recent amendment of interim representative, it has actually a very welcome amendment, and just enlighten us again that although Misraji has briefed it, that is very important amendment.
yes, yes. So that interim this thing is also that I will give a light. But before that, this questioning interview what Hemant Bhai was telling na. So you will find it very. I have in some cases I have been approached by a group of owners. They were asking me sir question कि आप क्या करते हो, क्या है, आप इसको कैसे रिजॉल्व करोगे, है ना? तो ये this is a when you are just given, what happens is that when you want to work as a AR, so you are not doing work for great amount of money. So generally we recommend okay यार कर लो, मतलब it's a by solicitation, it's not the work which perhaps you are eager to take it up, है ना? तो उसमें you are being approached by people who doesn't know anything, they ask you anything about you. We all of us have the profiles and this thing. They should have gone to IBBI website. They have done their homework now. So at times, although this has started, the IP I find is very strange thing that very some neta calls you कि आप कैसे सॉल्व करोगे, थोड़ा बताएंगे क्या आप आपको. So even I am not appointed as a AR and I am answerable to such questions. I am not. I don't have any information about the CD, है ना? I am just proposed as a AR. RP cannot give me any information or IRP cannot share me any information. तो आप कैसे इसको हैंडल करोगे ना सर, मतलब आप वी आर थिंकिंग, सी अगेन आई एम टेलिंग यू व्हाट आई टोल्ड इन द बिगिनिंग, कि क्या होता है कि व्हेन लुकिंग फ्रॉम द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ regulatory authorities or government or this thing, they say that okay these things to be done, but within the IP community I find these things are very disturbing. I don't see them as a welcome move. And what I tell them is that you go to my LinkedIn profile, you go to this thing, you go on IBBI website, check my credentials, and at least I will just give her kind of a brief teaser, and that's what I can do. I will not be, open to interviewing by somebody who is not having any knowledge about the subject. It's my,
You are
frank
correct.
view.
No, sir. Here I have a different view. May I allow to speak? See,
Yeah,
here
please,
I have
sir.
a different
Please,
view.
you can.
See, the home buyers are suffering from last so many years. So when they see the one person is appointed by the court to protect their interest, so we should think about their this thing also. Okay, थोड़ी सवाल आते हैं उनके फाइन, बट हमें उसको डील करना चाहिए.
और आप कैसे
सर देखो,
करोगे?
आप अपॉइंट हो रहे हो सर कोर्ट से, उनको लग रहा है कि हमारे लिए एक बंदा आ गया जो हमारे इंटरेस्ट को प्रोटेक्ट करेगा. अगर वो कहते हैं जी हमें आपका आपका रिज्यूमे चाहिए, आपका देखना है कि आपने क्या किया, या वो एक सवाल पूछते हैं कि आप कैसे करोगे इसको, यू हैव टू गिव ए ब्रीफ आंसर कि बॉस एज पर आईबीसी मेरे लिए जो बेस्ट होगा आई विल डू इट. बस इतना है सर, वो
तो
सेटिस्फाई हो
उतना हम
जाएंगे.
वैसे उनसे नहीं होता है, वैसे देख के नहीं, आप बताइए हम उनको, आप कैसे कैसे करोगे, ये तो सब बता दें, बिकॉज सी दिस इज स्टैंडर्ड आंसर विच एवरीबडी विल गिव सर.
सर इतना ही उनको चाहिए, बस उनको एक सिंपैथी
नहीं,
चाहिए, नथिंग
नहीं
एल्स.
सर, आप
स्टार्टिंग में और कुछ नहीं चाहिए उनको.
आप ये एक्सपीरियंस लो सर. आई हैव फेस्ड ऑल दिस थिंग, दैट इज व्हाई आई एम शेयरिंग माय प्रैक्टिकल व्यूज सर.
बॉस आई
आप
टेल
एक
यू,
बार,
आई एम
Yeah,
हैंडलिंग
Arshad ji, I think
आई एम
whatever.
हैंडलिंग
Yeah.
यस आई एम हैंडलिंग
Whatever.
5 केसेस ऑफ रियल एस्टेट जिसमें मैंने एआर का किया है. एंड वन हैज टू अंडरस्टैंड द साइकोलॉजी ऑफ द पर्संस हु आर सफरिंग फ्रॉम सो मेनी इयर्स.
Yes. See, all they are basically seeking the sympathy from you, as well as they have been, looking to you like your advocate or his person who is representing the COC. So it is just to become an AR is not only the economical activity which we look for. We are just looking it as an socio-economical activity. Basically, there is a social service which is, you are providing to the people who are, deprived of their rights or deprived of their rights which since years now they are seeking their rights for, or they are putting you forward, they are just putting their issues forward to you as an AR, and then you have to deal it within a very sympathetic way, I can say, because ultimately most of the questions which are asked by them are not you also as an AR cannot reply. But if you politely say, okay, yes, you are right, sir. Your question is right, and I understand your suffering. But here, this is not the correct forum to bring those things, and you can definitely put it to some other forum. But anyhow, we will just show your concern in the meeting, COC meeting. So this kind of things definitely can happen because normally home buyers pain you can see when there has been
sir,
a proposal in the
everybody,
resolution plan.
I'm telling you honestly, in my case of Lavasa, during the COVID time, there were 5 deaths of the homeless. You know,
No.
so we also understand their pain difficulties. But the question is that what can we do?
No. They require just sympathy. See, you need not
नहीं
do
सर,
anything. You just
हर्षद सर आपने
give
करना
just
कुछ नहीं
sympathy
है,
and then
आपने
show
कुछ
your
नहीं करना
concern.
है.
सर देखो,
आपको कुछ नहीं
ऐसा
करना
रॉन्ग, मतलब
है.
क्या होता है कि
नहीं,
somebody,
ऐसा नहीं है. You don't have to do
they think
anything. You
that कि आप
आपको
हेल्प
खाली
करोगे और
sympathy
See,
आप
करना है.
sympathy ले रहे हो.
They are
gradually,
seeking a
Harshad sir,
sympathy from you.
see,
आपको कुछ नहीं करना है.
this is a new law for everybody, right? 7-8 years हुए हैं, ज्यादा टाइम हुआ है. होम बायर्स के तो वैसे भी नहीं मालूम है कि क्या ज्यादा उसमें होता है. Gradually they came to know कि क्या है इसमें, and they support you.
Basically, see, home buyer is the role as an AR we are taking so far as mine, because I have been a AR in more than 5 cases, which has been resolved successfully. In some of the cases, the home buyer got their home, they were happy. In few cases, the home buyer got only, say, about 70% of their money back because of the complexity in the project, which cannot go ahead, and only money is the option, which refund of money is the only option. So you can understand the pain of the home buyer, and then you have to just a very sympathetic way, and you just say, yes, you are right, sir, but this is the issue, and you have to explain them the entire situation. And you can also ask them, can you please bring your lawyer if you are having any lawyer like that, and we can explain the situation to them also, and accordingly we can treat the thing. I think there has been number of questions which has been raised by, I think, few people. So I'll just raise, I think one by one I will just address to it. Ravichandran TP's roadblocks and impediments to successful resolution. I think that is the comment which he is putting up. Mr. Prasad is the remuneration is not commensurate with the responsibility attached or the demand being sought on the AR. You are right, sir. I understand. I think, Arshadji, your view. You are the speaker of today. I'm sorry. I'm just
I
moderator.
think someone has raised the hand, sir. Amrinder Singh ji.
Yeah. But I think, yes, yes.
Yeah, sorry, I have
Please.
put that as a question also. And my question is that if you're an AR and you are made party of a proceeding where the company, the RP, and you also, and you happen to engage an advocate, a representative, can you ask the RP to treat this fee you're paying the advocate as part of CRP cost?
Sir, frankly speaking, I think, Arshadji, you please answer it, I think.
I could
Then I will
not
just
get the question.
supplement you. See, what do you want to say that if you are an AR and you are being dragged to the court and you had to incur certain expenditure, I think the example you had given earlier also.
Yes.
You had already given that example earlier.
So what I have done is
So
that,
whether can you ask the reimbursement towards the ERP cost in that or not as an AR?
yes, I think we are eligible because legal rights also you have to protect. So what I have done is that I have attached my bill of the advocates and given it to the RP. We have sought that approval of the COC, and fortunately it was approved.
Yes, sir, it is allowed. Yes, you're right.
But it is not yet being
So,
paid. I mean,
That is a, that is a separate thing. And a
But
university.
ultimately, yes, you have to take COC approval. You're telling me, okay, they have to approve it, right?
Yes.
yeah. If COC approves, then it's okay, no, sir, because ultimately it's a COC who has to consider. No doubt, it is.
now,
And
the
one more thing,
that
sir. You yes,
suppose
please.
what happens that suppose that COC itself is predominantly of humus. So naturally what will happen is that the COC is COC has filed a case against you, and for that defense, COC is not going to approve your cost. So that I think that's the point he's trying to drive us, that in that case be ready and have some cushion for that legal cover.
So one
You're right.
I think.
Sir.
I think there should be the contract which has to be entered, or while your appointment as an AR, that any legal consequence which may arise out of this thing has to be either it has to be part of the contract, or I think there must be some. I'm not aware about the provision of even though there is no specific provision as such in the code or regulation, but ideally it is like an AR fees, which is already stated in the code. Any consequence which is arising of that post, there should be also ideally be the cost to CRP. That is what I believe. So anyhow, we have the next question. In the case of project possession has been given with without OC or CC, now who will be the maintenance? Who will bear the maintenance cost? RP as CRP cost, or the allottees staying in the building? Arshad ji, this is a question been asked by Mr. Partha Kumar.
After OC, I think it is the tenant's job. I mean, if there is OC, afterwards the society has to maintain.
No, sir.
No,
The
no,
question
no. What
is
he
OC
say,
has
it
not
is
yet. I'm sorry, I'm
without OC.
interrupting, sir. The question is
Yes,
OC
yes.
has not yet received, because the identical case I have handled, and since the OC has not been received, still the possession may have been given some time, and the societies need to be maintained. Since the OC has not been given, the home buyer is telling that we are not responsible to contribute, and who will maintain the building then? Whether it will be a CIRB cost and we have to make the building contributed by the COC member, or how?
Legally, the developer is responsible, and practically the whomsoever is acquiring, because in first place without OC you are taken the possession, so that itself is you are at fault. So if you then you are using that whatever the facilities are there in the society, and then you are telling that okay, for this developer will pay. So I don't think so practically it is possible. Somehow
No, developer is gone now.
Now, if I am the RP in that situation, I would have taken from the writing prior to giving the position of the thing that the maintenance charges will be bared by the user, actual user, and then it would have been the position would have been parted with. So that is the ideal situation which I can say that that can be sorted it out. Sort it out. The another question is that during CRP, someone may file an application and name AR as a respondent. If AR engages an advocate for this purpose, can request RP to, I think, treat his advocate fees as I think we already discussed this, so will not go again. Big brother attitude of COC should be curbed as the interest of home buyers should be seen with I think elasticity and empathy, as it is the hard-earned saving of them vis-a-vis institutional finance of banks, and as such home buyers should have I think precedent rather than going by sheer numbers. This is technically okay, because we have seen the COC where the big bank like SBI and all that people. I think one of the case where myself and Arshadji we both are working together in the same project. You can see the approach of the banker. Banker says that I will not, even it is a very big bank, I will not name it, and one of the leading bank who's having the maximum number of CRP cases. They say I will not leave a single penny from my share. Whatever the home buyer want to do, you can do it. You can negotiate to the RA. They are saying you can negotiate with home buyer. Don't I will not spare a single penny. And home buyers are very small people like carpenters and all these people. So ideally it is okay, I think, but the practically I think COCs where there are banks, they are having this kind of approach. Harshadji, you can supplement me if you want.
100%, sir. You're absolutely right. We always say in this thing that IBC is not a recovery mechanism, but what in reality happens that everybody is well worse off. And I think we should
Yeah,
not
I think
go into that this thing, because creditors, they have their own interests to work upon. So although I do agree that home buyers, they're hard money. See, always we have empathy with the home buyers. The reason being very simple. These are the individual people. Banks and this thing, when it's institutional, that losses get evened out between the bad money, good money. But with the home buyers, they are, it's their own money that gets lost. So we have, what we can only give is the empathy.
Acha.
Geeta madam,
There
I
has
think
been
have
some
raised the question.
yeah.
Very
Mr.
good
Deepak Singh
evening.
has shared his experience. Yeah. Yes, please. Please go ahead,
This is
sir.
Geeta Sridhar. Yeah. See, I would like to share in one of
Yeah,
the home
Geeta ji.
buyer cases, because now that you had been sharing about the expenses to be met. In one of the home buyer case, there were occupants in the building. Of course, they have not paid the entire money and all that. So there were maintenance in the form of lifts and then the security guards and all of them, and then employees towards the maintenance of the building and stuff like that. It was very fortunate that the financial creditor was very, very fair enough that they allowed RP to spend all the money from the as part of the CRP cost. That was actually a nice gesture. But then the COC was very, very kind enough to do that payments to be done on behalf of the home buyers, because they said that they are very poor people. Why should we punish them? So let us take over the cost, and then they did everything for the home buyers,
No,
including
that's
the
a
lift
good approach of
maintenance,
COC, but anyhow.
including the lift maintenance and everything.
Yeah, that is a good thing, but every COC is not that much kind enough. I think Mr. Motilal Pamecha, I think you can just share
Good
your
evening,
experience.
good evening, Arshadji. Looking at
Good evening.
deliberation, what I feel that taking the CRP case itself is the challenging one. Forget about the AR. why to take the CRP case in? I'm just sharing one of the example in which the matter is of the Mumbai bench. The home buyer threatened me because they are suffering from so many years. They threatened me that they are going to commit a suicide in, and we also name your name in the suicide note because you are also not helping us. So I thought that how can I be helpful? I'm concerned as a home buyer, but see, a lot of them later on they file I against me also. So they are not supporting. So how can I support? So based on this experience, forget about the AR. Why to take the CRP of the real estate case also? I am concerned that way also now.
And there are
No,
many
different people have
questions
different
on this,
experience, I think.
that they feel that the fees offered to AR is not in consonance with the responsibility and work carried out.
I think Deepak Singh ji wanted to share an experience. He has written a long notes in the chat box. Deepak Singh ji, you can just speak out your experience if you want to share. I think we have the last, this is the last thing which we will do, and then we will wind up the session.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Actually, I have written, but I am at that time I was not IP. I am residing in that society itself because the discussion was going on whether association on behalf of home buyers can become RA. So that I have experience. Society was made here, and secretary was somewhat aware about this process. So he prepared a RA plan he prepared. But in the meantime, he became greedy. He wanted some additional demand from the home buyers. For example, 300 per square feet he was demanded. Earlier, he has not disclosed this thing. So people who were believing on him, then later they understood that this man has become greedy. In the meantime, the builder, which was behind the bar at that time, he came out. He came to know that, and he registered himself under MSME, and he himself has become RA plan. He also assured that in his RA plan, he assured that without taking any extra amount from home buyers, I will continue. I will complete this project. So the RA plan was put in COC. It is approved, but still it is pending before NCLT. So that is what I just wanted to say. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I think now with this we are ending today's session of AR. I am thankful to the organizer for giving me this opportunity,
Thank you.
and thankful to the speaker of today, Arshad ji. Thank you for sharing the speaker's share.
Yes, so
Thank you, sir.
I also would like to thank especially Ravindra ji for organizing such wonderful session, Heman bhai, and also Namrata madam. So last pick is on the right hand side. So that's what I was just wanted to conclude. So you remain confused between two about efficiency or effectiveness and equity and empathy. So this is the balance that today you have to strike. So thank you so much for this session. It was a pleasure to be with our colleagues and great experiences, good questions, and we will keep on learning. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Harshad sir, I'd request Ravindra Chaturvedi sir to please present a memento for appreciation to our lead speaker.
Deshpande sir, thank you so much for coming and sparing time and give insight of the opportunities for the AR and the challenges being faced. So from our side, on behalf of IPNet, I just present the certificate of appreciation, and we will send it to you across to your residence, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
You're blessed.
And a very warm thank you to our coordinator, moderator, Mr. Hemant Mehta. A memento for him as well. Ravindra sir, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hemant sir, just present a memento for Hemant sir also.
Yes.
Yeah. Hemant sir, your coordination and question, I think you are the authority in real estate segment. I know that. And that is why we have requested you to moderate with the speaker. It will be a great help, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much on behalf of IPNet, and likewise, just accept the certificate of appreciation from our side. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ravindraji. Thank you, IPNet team.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much, sir.
We would like to thank the IP fraternity for giving us the opportunity, and a heartfelt thank you to all participants joining us today. Looking forward to more learnings and knowledge sharing. Hence, I would like to invite Mr. Ravi Chandran for announcement of the next webinar of IPNet South.
Yeah, good evening all. The next webinar is roadblocks and impediments for the resolution plan. It's a very interesting topic, and I'm sure all of you again will come and just get benefited and give us your experiences. We look forward to your presence there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ravi Chandran. Our best wishes to you. I would like to now invite Mr. Sumit to propose a formal vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. I, on behalf of IPNet, thank you all for attending the seminar and participating it with wholehearted. First and foremost, I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to our chief guest, Mr. Hariharan Mishraji, sir. It was a pleasure having you with us today to make this occasion more significant. Special in absence, we thank to our President Ashish Makija, sir, for starting this movement and making everyone being a part of this learning era. To our panelists, our lead speaker of the day, IP Arshad Deshpande, and our wonderful coordinator, Mr. Hemant Mehta ji. We thank you for taking out time, and we appreciate the insights you shared with us. You are enriched the discussion in ways that it will undoubtedly influence all IP's daily work. The depth of knowledge and wisdom you brought to this session is invaluable. We thank you both. We thank both of you for your dedication, and especially on a holiday time. A big thank you to transition and technical support team. You have often worked behind the scenes, and you are the backbone of the events. We thank you for all the effort, hard work you have done for the day. And finally, thank to each and every participants for being present and being a part of this event. This event will be only successful when we all participate collaboratively. Your enthusiasm and engagement and the level of questions you are asking has elevated today's discussion. We are building something that will not only support our professional growth, but also drive innovation and collaboration in insolvency sectors across India. Thanks once again to everyone who contributed, participated, and supported this incredible initiative. It is just the beginning, and I'm excited to see where we go from here together. Thank you, IP Namrata, and thank you, Ravindraji.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.